Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. Now pray for the soul of this explorer. It's time for 31 days of horror.
Hello again, I'm Terence McGuana and welcome back to my 31 Days of Horror, and the film I want to talk to you today about is Ringu 2 from 1999, the direct sequel to the classic 1998 Japanese fantasy horror. If you're familiar with my channel, then you will know that the second review that I ever uploaded was for Ringu from 1998. That was recommended to me by Curly Girl at the Movies, whose channel is absolutely mind-blowing. What a terrific channel she has, and her taste in films is absolutely exquisite. After I finally watched Ringu, I was totally pumped for the sequel. The movie left in a bit of a cliffhanger and I couldn't wait to check this one out. Before I give you my opinion on this, let me explain the plot. At the beginning of the film, the authorities have the body of Sadako Yamamura, our antagonist from the original Ring movie. We find out quite early that Raiko, our lead character from the original film, is on the run with her son, and we soon discover that her son has been developing psychic powers, just like her late husband who passed away at the end of the first Ring movie. Our new protagonist in this story is Mia Takano, who was the assistant of Raiji, Raiko's late husband, who was murdered by Sadako. And she goes on a quest to find out more information about Raiko and her whereabouts. Now, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. Ringu 2 was a big letdown for me. There's nothing I despise more than a terrible sequel. And you know, films that come to mind in that vein are Zoolander 2, or Matrix Reloaded, Crocodile Dundee 2, Airplane 2. So many disappointing sequels. I could go on all night about disappointing sequels, and Ringu 2 is up there with them. When I saw The Ring and that film ended, and what a terrific ending it had, you know, with the television scene and having this open ending, what's going to happen next, and then that Japanese song, I was absolutely pumped at the end of that film. I was like, oh wow, I absolutely adore this story. I want to see more Sadako. I want to see more of this character. I want to see her take out some more people. I mean, I'm not one that enjoys watching violence on screen at all, but this character, it was absolutely intriguing. And don't get me wrong, there are some moments in Ringu 2 where they go a little bit deeper into her history and a little bit deeper into the mythology of this character, and some of those scenes were really interesting for me, but other than that, it really lacked suspense. We find out early in this story that people have got wise to the cursed videotape, that if you watch the tape and you get that telephone call that you're going to die in 7 days and you pass it on to another person, then you are completely clear from the curse. The curse is washed off you and it's passed on to this person. You won't die in 7 days, but they might. And that was quite an interesting sort of moral dilemma, which was played out quite well between this journalist and this woman who gave him the videotape. There was a really nice scene in this where she was like, you promise that you're going to watch it, you promise me that you're going to watch it, and he doesn't watch it. He lets this woman die, and you know, this really callous sort of moment. For me, that was the highlight to the whole story. One thing really got my jip is the character of Raiko is hardly in it. You know, she's in it with her son. We do catch up with this character, and I really took to this character. I really liked her as a protagonist, and they replace her with Mia, who's really not got the same sort of performance and presence that she had. I felt that she was kind of overacting, to be honest. I know she's acting in Japanese, how can I tell? But you can really tell that she was just doing it. She was just overacting for me, and I just wasn't smitten by her as a performer. And I don't like that in sequels where they've established this great character, this character that I've come to know, and then they just take him out of it. You know, Teen Wolf and then Teen Wolf 2, what's the point? What is the point of having a different character? The only film that I can think of that really pulled it off was Predator 2. Predator 2 with Danny Glover, but Danny Glover had to do some real heavy lifting to replace Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Ringu 2 was a big letdown for me, and it really saddens me to say that, because I was so taken away by the first one. Even though I'm not that impressed with this one, I still enjoy this series of films, and I want to see more of them. I definitely want to watch some of the remakes and the sequels and the short films and all that sort of stuff, and get to know a little bit more about the mythology, maybe even read some of the books, to be honest. It is really interesting. Now you heard me flap my gums at the beginning of the video how I was inspired to check out this series of films by Curly Girl at the movies. And once I'd watched it, any film that she recommends on her channel, and I get the time to check it out, I always go on and leave a nice wee comment. I'll say thank you very much. I would say most of the time she gets it right on the nose for me, right? She gets it right on the nose. The Eve's Bayou, Possession, these films, they're absolute classics, and her reviews of them were just perfect, absolute perfect. And I always leave a wee comment and say, oh, you're right on the money there, I can't disagree with you at all. But on this one, on Ringu 2, I left a little comment about Ringu 2 and how I was just sorely disappointed that, my heart sank watching this. I was bored to tears, and it just really let me down. And she always says, oh, agree to disagree, let's not get into... She doesn't like to get in a heated debate about a film, and I respect that. But me, on the other hand, I can't help myself. I love to argue about movies. My motto is, I respect your opinion, but you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. So I couldn't hold back, and I was just pestering her. Look, there's this, there's that, there's this. The actual logic doesn't make sense. The curse that they established in the very first film, it doesn't make any sense. They've completely changed the rules of what they had established in the first film. They've taken out all the best characters, put in these absolutely boring characters. And Sadako, where's Sadako? I thought we were going from Alien to Aliens, Ring to just maximum Sadako-ness. No, she's left out, and I can't help myself. I can't help myself just being so passionate about films. And oh wow, check this out, I just got a new message from the Curly Girl at the movies. How cool is that? What a coincidence. I wonder what she's got to say.
That you will know that by the end of this night I will kill you.
She's got some sense of humour, that woman, isn't she? Well, that's strange. Anyway, the Ringu. I'm not completely doing a hatchet job on this film. There are moments in it that are interesting. I did enjoy that they actually had this moment where they were going to go into scientific experiments with these people who have got this curse on them. And I did like the whole part about the spreading the curse onto someone else, and that person just being so cold-hearted that they don't even watch the tape and just quite happily let this person die. That was quite interesting, but for me it was just there was no tension. What the first one had was that 7 days and you're gonna die. 7 days that you're gonna die. And when Raiko's son eventually watched the tape, the stakes got higher. The stakes built up and it got higher, and we got a little bit about the backstory of Sadako and how she became this evil woman. And it was just such a sore disappointment. I think I wouldn't be so disappointed in it if my expectations hadn't been raised by the first one. And it pains me to say this, but I really don't want to ever see this film again. But this series of films, I'm still intrigued to find out more about this character and about the Ring mythology. I think it is quite fascinating, and still based on the first one and how intense that was in parts and how creepy it was. I really do want to see more of them still, and I just cannot recommend this to anyone. I think Ringu 2 is a painful disappointment. I was absolutely crushed by it, and I couldn't wait for it to end. I found it tiresome. If you can think of any other movies in the Ring series that I should check out, then send them my way. I really want to watch more of these, but I do see there's some really strange ones that I'm thinking, is that a cheap cash in, like the Bruce Lee, Bruce Lie type films where these people are making kind of fake Ring movies? I'm not entirely sure, but if anyone out there could suggest another Ring movie that is better than this one, then please send it my way, because I really do enjoy this series of films, and I just wish there was more Sadako. I wish there was more creepy moments with that character. I really missed that character. It felt to me that I was watching a Halloween film without Michael Myers, and I don't mean Season of the Witch. I love Season of the Witch, but to watch RoboCop without RoboCop, that's what this felt like. It felt like, where's my woman? You know, where's Lady Evil? Where is she? I want her to come out and kick my ass. I want her to creep me out. I was really missing this character, and it was just a disappointment. It was just a big disappointment. It's not the worst film in the world. It's not the most disappointing sequel, but I was really pumped for it. I was like, this is going to be my number 2 movie on the 31 Days of Horror, because it's going to be great. There's no way this film's going to let me down. And I was just crushed. I was absolutely crushed. Once again, thanks for tuning in tonight. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. And this is Terence Maguana once again. And I just want to say peace, love, and